Hi everyone, welcome to Popcorn and Gore Grindhouse. We're going over some of my sci-fi fantasy and action adventure collection. So y'all guys sit back and enjoy. Doing a new shelf so that way I can put the rest in because I was kind of overcrowded, but I do have room for the other media. So I just want to kind of show off some of the media that I did put in so far on the new shelf. And we'll be starting off with the action adventure. All right, so we'll be starting off with my massive Xena collection. I'm a huge fan of Lucy Lawless, and this is my ultimate Xena collection. I'm a huge fan of female warriors, so Xena always is a staple in my collection, with an astonishing 6th season. All right, so we'll be starting with season 7 in the order that we already have them, that I already had them on the shelf. This is the final season. I remember when this first aired on the television, they were like boasting it really bad, like the final season was in, and everybody was like tuning in. So this was like totally badass when this first came on and aired for the final season of Xena. It's pretty badass. Season 6. And this would be season 7. I'm sorry, season 5. The artwork is phenomenal. Season 5. This is season 4. Huge fan of Lucy Lawless. Action play was pretty badass too. Season 4. Season 3. I always kind of go back and watch all of them over and over again anyway on my binge watch, so decided to just create another shelf and then put everything on. I'll be doing a theme shelf too, also with Xena and Hercules and all of them together too, also, as I'm gonna be reordering, ordering the Hercules complete collection since I already have Xena already complete. So I did some reordering around again, getting the shelf all dolled up. Look at her look. She always has those looks, like she's so daring and heroic. Xena. Seasons 2. Seasons 1. I had just put these up there, so my order is kind of backwards. But it's all together now. Alright, so we're going to be moving down some from Xena. We have my Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Ultimate. I remember when I went to the movies to see this. It was pretty badass then, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm a huge fan of him anyway, and wouldn't that better to sit and watch a George Lucas film, briefly done by Harrison Ford, one of my favorite adventurers. So this is my adventurous shelf, and of course y'all know what this is. Temple of Doom, which is my favorite out of the series too. I like the volcano fire and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it really was badass. They really went all out on the special effects on this one. It was sort of one of the ones that I pretty much did binge watch over and over again. So I created a new shelf for this one. So hopefully everything will be all put together and dolled up the way how I need it. And then we have the Kingdom of Crystal Skulls. We've done Harrison Ford. I added a new arrangement too also. This is the complete Conan quest. And it contains Conan the Destroyer along with Conan the Barbarian. And I did a feature on her too also. So Thandi Bergman. I did a feature on her with She. There she is right there next to James Earl Jones. And then you have Grace Jones along with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But there's Thandi Bergman. I did a feature on her already. And then I'll be adding Red Sonja too also. So we move over to the second part. Let's move our Spartacus over a little bit. Okay, so we have Hercules, The Legendary Journey, and this is season 1. So I'll be ordering the complete season of his too next. And we're going to put him where he belongs, right behind Xena. Because I've been doing some moving around too also, as well as putting things on a new shelf. So guys, I just polished the shelf off, just assembled it and everything. And now I'm just putting the meter up there. So this one would be season 3 of The Legendary Journey of Hercules. I'm a huge Kevin Sorbo fan anyway. It's beautifully done. And we'll put him where he belongs. And then also Conan goes behind him. All right. So now we're moving on. Then this is my Stars package. This one right here is Camelot, which is one of my favorites too also, the complete first season. Featuring the gorgeous and talented Green. And some of the special effects too also. And she was also in Penny Dreadful. Some of the Ultimate Quest. And it's the complete first season. It's a shame that they didn't make it to a second season though, because I would have loved to see them make it to a second season, but I guess, you know, Stars had other plans, so I created a Stars section, and I had them all put together pretty predominantly in that Stars section, and this would be the Stars section, so we'll just hold on for just a minute. So we will get to Spartacus, Blood and Sands, one of my first dollies. And I was a huge fan of the show, and I decided to just like collect the whole damn thing And it was just one of those ones where it was just heart stopping. And I'm sitting here trying to remember all the times when I was watching it. I mean, how gloriful it was. It was like you're right there at Rome and watching it in the Colosseum. I mean, it was really, really badass. Special effects, fighting, and all sorts of blood work. I mean, wow, it was totally awesome. So I had to put this on here. Plus, like I said, I'm a Lucy Lawless fan, along with John Hannah and everyone else. I mean, it was totally badass. Spartacus, Blood and Sands, baby. One of the ultimate sort of parts of the collection. That made everything kind of like stick out like glue, huh? So we move on to the next one. So we put Camelot back. And then move John Hannah over for this special tribute treat. Then we got Spartacus, Gods of the Arena, with Gannicus on the front celebrating his victory. And it's beautifully done. DVD booklet. Post-pounding entertainment. They weren't lying when they said that. There's everybody on the front. Epic and freakish. Compelling. There's TV show rights there, a little column edit. Along with the bonus features and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to go inside and check out this booklet. With all the goodness and everything involved on the inside. Alright guys, so here's the booklet. It's beautifully done by Stars original. And then we have everybody on the front cover. There's Gaia. She came to visit Madam. There's Crixus, the undefeated Gaul. There's Barker. There's Animaeus. And I believe this one right here is the one is his friend. And then also we have Gannicus on the front along with John Hannah in the back. It's ultimate. There's a beautiful picture of Gaia on the front. There's John Hannah. There's Lucy Lawless. There's Salonius, the son of a bitch. There's the first Dynamis, that one that took over, that controlled the slaves before Animaeus took over. And here's Animaeus. There's Lucretia and her friend. Beautifully done. And there's Animaeus's wife. And it was sad when she passed away, because Gannicus also was saddened too also when she passed away. And it was an unfortunate event that sort of happened that took not only her away from him, but away from Gannicus too also. And it was very compelling how they had worded the story all up together like that. Plus they were forced to sleep together because in the house, pretty much they do whatever Dynamis told them to do, or what was required of them. And it was an epic tale. There's my DVD book of Gods of the Arena, my Stars tribute. All right, so moving on. Growing up as a kid, y'all guys remember this show called Voyagers. This is the complete series. The first series, I was shocked because they didn't make a second one, and the reason why is because the guy Borg, he passed away, so it kind of messed everything all around. And was pretty much a great show, and they go back and forth through time on a voyage to put time back the way how it's supposed to be, and they did a pretty good job at doing it too also. So this is one of my favorite features in my ultimate action adventure section. And the Voyagers, it's totally badass. Yep. All right, so next up, we have another one of my features too also. Legend of the Seeker, Season 2. I also have Season 1. And you see the Seeker on the front, along with Mother Confessor and the Wizard. This is also beautifully done too also. And the fight sequences were just awesome. And the special effects was awesome too also. Television's epic fantasy. Legend of the Seeker, Season 2. Alright, so next up we have my Game of Thrones Season 1 on Blu-ray. It's put out through HBO. Now this is my HBO part of this shelf. I'm sort of a fan for this too, also this particular show, so it was totally ultimate. And like I said, I'm willing to get some figurines too also over here, so I can really do the shelf up with nothing but Game of Thrones stuff. And this one is the complete second season. Blu-ray. And this one is the complete 7th season. You can see the Night King on the front. Winter is here. And this is my 8th edition of Game of Thrones. We have everybody already on there already. You got Tyrion, you got Arya, you got the Breaker of Chains, the Mother of Dragons, Daenerys, and you also have the little boy. It was funny because his ass was all the way out there in the snow in a wheelchair, out there in the woods. It was pretty crazy. Bran was weird. Then you got Jon Snow, and then you got his sister, which is their oldest sister, and she took over anyway while he was gone. And after her brief encounter with Cersei, she came back kind of like a little bit loony, but then she ended up regaining herself with the help of Arya guiding her back. So this is awesome feature here. Game of Thrones 8th season. Also, Game of Thrones complete 8th season. This is the visual effects for the film, and showing you the backstage stuff like that. You know, the exclusive bonus features and all that kind of good stuff is on this particular disc. It's also fun to watch too, also, so you can see how they put it together and all that kind of good stuff. Containing the 8th season. So also we got Christina Rochet, Lizzie Borden Chronicles, which is another one of my favorites too also. As you can see, there's Lizzie. And there's her and Emma. And there's Andrew Borden. And the Epic Tale. Predominantly one of my favorites. Lizzie Borden Chronicles. Alright, so next up we have Home Fires, which is another one of my favorites. This is put out through PBS. Also have a lot of British stuff too. Also I have Loke the Candlesfoot, I have Bromwell, I have Pyro, I have Cranford. Only one I'm trying to get is Fool's War. So once I get that, everything else will be pretty good. And I'll be getting Downton Abbey too also. I haven't checked out the new age Downton Abbey yet, but I will check that out to see. But so far I've been binge watching Jamestown. Jamestown is my favorite. I'm gonna get that entire series too also next. But Home Fires is pretty cool. You guys can get a chance, you guys got to check this out. Home Fires is pretty awesome. Alright, so next up we have Survivor. Another one of my favorites too also. I'm a huge Kevin Sorbo fan. So we have Danielle Sharan, and she's pretty much his pupil. And her fight for survival equaled his fight for survival, and she ended up passing the test and ended up going to war for real. And humanity's last hope was all geared towards her, and she did a badass job on it. Survivor. Alright, so next up we have Forbidden Empire. I thought we were doing sci-fi. So this one is also nice too. Also, I like the special effects. Special effects were pretty awesome. And it was a journey into the realms of dark magic and sorcery. It's pretty badass. Forbidden Empire. It's like a cross between Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who, I guess, because it's pretty weird and eerie, but I love it because it became a staple in my collection. Forbidden Empire. Also, we have The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. So I'll go ahead on and bring both of those two out because both of those two are normally together. So we have The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. Not one of my favorites. And it's the special edition collector set with the 2 discs inside. And this is the Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. All the special features on the inside. It's not a bad deal. I have it all pretty much put together. Also, next up, we have 10,000 BC, which is another one of my favorites too also. The visual effects were stunning, and it does take you on an adventure, really, for real, and then you will feel like you were back there in 10,000 BC. That sort of tiger is pretty much badass. You got to see him, especially he looks real big, especially on my 65-inch. I mean, he looks really big. And everyone did a good job as far as the character lineup. And it includes both versions of widescreen and full screen formats, which I like when they do that because I'm not really a fan of widescreen. I'm a fan of full screen. So I was glad that they were able to do that. And plus, this movie looked really good in full screen. 10,000 BC. And I'm also a fan of Raquel Welch, which also have 1,000,000 years BC. Also have that. All right, so we have Lara Croft's Tomb Raider. This is another one of my favorites. Everybody predominantly pretty much loved Lara Croft when she came out. She was badass in pretty much everything that she did. Jolie, not only is she hot and talented, she's also a badass super vixen. I seem to have this thing full of women with powers. It seems to gravitate towards me, and I pretty much like it. So we're moving on with the second part. All right, so my next one will be my Doctor Who collection. I'm a huge fan of the Tom Baker years. The Tom Baker years went from 1974 to 1981. And this one is story 104, Destiny of the Daleks. As you can see, 104, Destiny of the Daleks. This is one of my favorites. When it comes to the fantasy and futurist stuff like that. And I pretty much fell in love with the Daleks, and I've been a Doctor Who fan ever since then. This is why I'm going to create a whole, well, this particular shelf is going to be for him too. Also, he has a space. I'm going to be getting some figurines from the actual show, maybe one of the Daleks, and put it on the shelf, along with the actual disc around it. So I'll be getting one of these ones. It'd be nice if I get one with him in the chair already. That way I can put him on the collector's shelf. So we have Doctor Who. That'd be pretty much badass if that predominantly would have happened. All right, guys. So here's the entire Doctor Who collection. The complete series, season 1, the complete season 3, and the complete season 7. Bye bye. And he has it all worked out in his fiendish little way, and he's pretty much clever. And this is the entire, not the entire collection, but the ones I've got so far of Tom Baker. Because I remember I'm only a Tom Baker fan. So any other ones that I may see of Tom Baker, I will get them. So far, this is what's going on with that entire collection I have so far. And I'll be creating a shelf with one of these Daleks as one of the figurines for this particular shelf. Just to show y'all some of the features on the Blu-ray. It's pretty badass. The transfer is excellent. Everything was okay, and I pretty much enjoyed it. I had it for a while, but I did 2 reviews. Actually, there's a review already up on my Sci-Fi, total classic Sci-Fi, but I decided to do a Sci-Fi fantasy. This is what this wheel is. So this one will be part 1, guys, of my Sci-Fi fantasy. And don't forget to click that like button, and let me know I'm doing something good, and let's talk about some movies, and leave me a comment if you like what I do and all that good stuff. And I pretty much love collecting, especially good media when it comes to sci-fi fantasy. It's my Doctor Who. And of course, season 1, along with story 104, Doctor Who collection. All right, guys, next up we have my Harry Potter collection. We have Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, Deathly Hallows 1 and 2. One of my favorites too also. And over here we have The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Order of Phoenix, The Half-Blood Prince, and the Deathly Hallows 1 and 2. And on this one, of course, at the bottom, we had Prisoner of Alcazar also, of course, along with Goblet of Fire. It's my Harry Potter. I also do have the books too also. Alright guys, so this is the second part of the shelf. We're going to be going over it. Sci-fi, fantasy, and action adventure. Along with some of my VHS copies too also that I do have. So we have the Terminator on VHS. I'll be back. Alright, so let's go over some of that we do have already in the featured lineup. The Terminator. I'll be back. I remember when I first went to the movies to see this, it was pretty badass, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And the special effects was just fucking awesome. And the Terminator has always been one of those ones in my collection that I pretty much gotta have. So I'm a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan anyway. So I pretty much had to have him in my collection. So let's predominantly bring up the VHS copy of everything and have everything pretty much laid out properly. Arnold, I'll be back. Alright guys, here's my Ultimate Schwarzenegger package. I also do have another one by Schwarzenegger too also. So we have Collateral Damage. We got True Lies, featuring Jamie Lee Curtis. And we also have Eraser. And the Terminator featuring Linda Hamilton. And then on Eraser, I think Vanessa Williams was featured on this one. Yep, Vanessa Williams. I knew it was somebody. The End of Days also do have two. Also, it's downstairs in my other rack. I just forgot to bring it, but I do have that. That's my True Lies, Jamie Lee Curtis, and my Collateral Damage. It's my Ultimate Schwarzenegger collection on VHS. Alright, so moving on next. We have Nemesis. One of my favorites too also. I also do have Nemesis 2 also too. But I like the first one. Fucking humans. This is my favorite. Oliver Gunner. Alright, so next up in our feature we have Charlize Theron and Atomic Blonde, which is another one of my favorites. Plus she's gorgeous. I love Charlize. This whole thing rocks, and she does her own stunts. And she's that little right there, sexy, kick-ass fun. I love that. And she really did kick their ass. Atomic Blonde. I'm definitely give me a poster of her and put her on the wall. Alright, so next up we have the Dawn Seeker, which is another one of my favorites. The girl Phoenix is the hero in this movie here. She's pretty badass. And it has tons of special features too also. So I'm redoing this shelf over again too also. So this is the reason why I'm pulling all these things, pulling everything pretty much out and starting it off over again, because I do have the other collection ready to go. All right, so next up we have the Road Warrior, Mad Max. We get to my Ultimate Road Warrior. We have Mel Gibson. And we have Mel Gibson. And we have Mel Gibson. So I remember I went to the movies to see this one too also. This was when in the 80s were like really bombing, man. Everything was like pretty much badass. This one really did rock. I love the adventure in this damn thing here. It was like really going on. And Humongous was crazy because he ruled the damn wasteland. And he reminds you of this damn rustler turned bad with a Jason mask on, and he's running through the set, and it's pretty cool. And Max was like, if all the same to you, I'll drive that tanker. He said, look at you. You couldn't even drive your wheelchair. Max is like, cut the crap. I'm the best chance you got. And look what the fuck happened. They were going through the whole damn place, fucking around. Now, the next one I'm going to add to this one is Tina Turner too also. Beyond Thunderdome. Master Blaster. I got to add that next. For my Ultimate Mad Max wheel. And also, guys, this is the original tape I got this years ago in Blockbuster. And this is what it looks like inside the jacket. I had it pretty much sealed very good. And when I put this in here, I still play this too. Also, I do also have a working VHS player. So let's see what we got here. And y'all guys, y'all remember the days when they say, be kind and please rewind? She's rewound. Now you can see it's still in good condition. Still got the rental sticker tape on it. I ended up renting this. And then after I saw the Road Warrior, I was like, that's it. I'm going to buy this. Let me go ahead and get this. So the guy runs in the back and he finds the jacket. And he throws the jacket on. Because first he was going to throw it away. I was like, no, don't throw it away. Give me the jacket. Because he just was going to give me the blank protective cover. I'm like, no, I want the damn thing. He's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, put it together. If I'm buying it, motherfucker, put this shit together. And look, I still have it till to this day. Pretty much badass. So I use it as my featured shelf for my media. The Road Warrior. Alright guys, so next up we have Tokyo Ghoul Police, Yakujimu Hunters, and the Gene Generation. Featuring Bai Ling. So my Tokyo Ghoul Shock, and this is our Eva Shunner, by the way. It's pretty badass. That Tokyo Ghoul Shock treatment. It's pretty much badass. And she's an engineer that goes and hunts down the bad guys. And she's the one that Famous played in Audition too also. She started in Audition. So I guys will know who she is. She's pretty badass. Then we also have the Yakujimu Hunters. I also do have some other treats from Tokyo Ghoul Shock too also. I believe I have it inside of this jacket here. Let's check it out. Yeah guys, so it was inside. So what I did have is I burned 2 copies of Samurai Princess, and Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl. So they were all inside of Tokyo Gore Police. I normally keep my Tokyo Gore Shock together predominantly. So there we have Eileen. So I'm getting this shelf together piece by piece. So I know this is going to be a long tutorial, but hey, trying to get everything together. And this is going to be the part 1, guys. Alright guys, so next up we have Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines featuring Christiana Loken, Total Recall, best mindfuck yet, and the DVD version of Total Recall. It's pretty badass. As we go through my ultimate sci-fi fantasy and action. Putting all these shells together now. Get everything all put up. We're moving on. See you at the party, Victor. Alright, so next up we have Aliens 1 and 2. We have Alien Resurrection. We also have Aliens 3. We also have Prometheus. We also have Battlestar Galactica Chrome, which is another one of my favorites. Stunning visual effects and all that kind of good stuff. And it really does have a good storyline plot. It was totally badass. Alright, so next up we have Robot Overlords, which is another one of my favorites too also. Totally badass. And we also have Serenity, which is another one of my favorites. Featuring the gorgeous Gina Torres. We also have James Brolin's The Car. Bum, 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 bum. Next up we have Jaws. And we have The Punisher, Dolph Lundgren. I have pretty much all of his stuff too anyway. Let me do Ultimate Package. So this will be my Dolph Lundgren packets so far. We got The Punisher. Inside I also do have Red Scorpion inside of here. We have Silent Trigger. We have Dolph Lundgren again, collection, and those are what's inside of his collection. Command Performance, Bridge of Dragons, Peacekeepers, Direct Contact, Direct Action, Blackjack, and Sweepers. And over here, I end up getting his action collection, the Base 1, the Base 2, the Borderline, Hidden Agenda, Detention, Punisher again, Diplomatic Siege, and Extreme Justice. My ultimate Dolph Lundgren package. Getting it all put together. Alright, so next up we have Weird Science, featuring the gorgeous and talented Kelly LeBrock. One of my favorites coming up in the 80s, High School Reunion. It's totally badass. Alright, so next up we have Mr. and Mrs. Smith out of the collection. And then I do also have the Taurus too also. Featuring Johnny Depp. Alright, so next up we have Melita Jovovich Ultraviolet, Resident Evil Retribution, and the Resident Evil Trilogy, with all the Resident Evils already inside already. So that's my ultimate package for our Resident Evil. Alright guys, so next up we have Atomic Blonde again, and we have Eon Flux, and we have Bitch Slap, the unrated edition. That's my action sequences I normally keep together when it comes to my Ultimate Bad Broads package. And then I also add in Wendell Curry and John Carradine as the actual zombies, which is another one of my Ultimate packages. I normally have. And on the inside of here, I also have Faster Baby Kill Kill featuring Taurus Antenna. This is the reason why I bought out this one, because it has Taurus Antenna inside. So this is my Ultimate Kick-Ass Broad selections, along with Nemesis. I also bring Nemesis out too also, and Nemesis will be the ultimate on that wheel too. So this will be the wheel. Totally badass. Alright guys, so next up we have Hard Target. Hard Target pretty much rocks. This thing is action packed. So if you're looking for action constantly all the way through, Hard Target is your go-to. With 20 minutes of bonus features, and it has tons of goodies and explosions and corruption to taste your fiendish little adventurer's trail if you want to be on a venture. Alright, so we'll be going next over to Osiris Child, featuring Isabel Lucas. Another one of my favorites too also. The special effects were awesome. And then we also have Beyond Skyline, which is another one of my favorites. Then we also have The Fifth Wave, which is another one of my favorites. Special effects is awesome. Then we have Pacific Rim, which is also good. We also have Perseus Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. And I also have Perseus Jackson and the Sea of Monsters too also. So there's that Perseus Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. On DVD. And this is the combo Blu-ray with the DVD and Blu-ray. So when you get in media, guys, try to get it on all different formats. That way you'll have a backup for the Blu-ray. So we got Perseus Jackson, the Sea of Monsters, and Perseus Jackson, Olympians, and the Lightning Thief. Alright guys, so next up we have Doom. He who controls Arrakis controls the spice. Another one of my favorites too also. We also have Doomsday, another one of my favorites. Featuring Rhonda Mitra, another gorgeous bride. And we have Time Bandits. I remember I went to the movies to see this. It was pretty badass, and everything that I seen was like ultimate, and I pretty much liked it. And plus the special effects were awesome too also. And I'm a huge Sean Connery fan, and everything in here pretty much rocked. So I kind of enjoyed it. Time Bandits. It was totally fun going to the movies to see this. And I was glued to the screen, man. That's how you know when you're in adventure mode. All right, so next up we have the gorgeous and talented Gina Davis and Cutthroat Island and Matthew Modine. Cutthroat Island. Another gorgeous thing. Plus, I liked her in Beetlejuice, so she was pretty cool, which I also have on VHS. Cutthroat Island. All right, guys, next up we have my Great and Powerful Oz, the original copy of The Wizard of Oz on Blu-ray, and my original VHS tape of The Wizard of Oz that I had since the early 90s. And you could tell in my collection this was 132. This is the position that it was in my collection. And it's still just like I bought it from Earl's Video years ago. Still in pristine copy condition. Beautifully done. All the way through. And rewound, by the way. So we have our Ultimate Wizard of Oz collection. This is fun too also, because it's also, they also added more people inside of here too to make it kind of like a really adventure. But I always loved my main. And this one stuck with me for years. It's number 132 in my collection years ago. And it's still in my collection now. The Wizard of Oz. Alright guys, so next up we have Poseidon Rex. Which is another one of my favorites. And we also have Fury. Featuring Brad Pitt. And we also have U-571, Matthew McConaughey, and all the rest of those guys inside. Another one of my favorites. And we also have Full Metal Jacket, which is another one of my favorites. So this little shelf is slowly coming together. So this is a overcap of the entire collection. Put together again. I'll be back. And he put Schwarzenegger back where he belongs. And there it is. Now we'll be going over some VHS and some other things I do have in the collection that I want to kind of bring up. But this is part one of my sci-fi fantasy and action adventure. All right, these are just some of the ones that I'm putting in the shelf now. This is where they're going to go down in here, and getting them all put together. So we have the Golden Compass. All right, so we have Gods of Egypt. We have Spaceballs, the movie, featuring Rick Moranis and John Candy and Mel Brooks, and Pizza the Hut, and Lord Helmet. We have Goonies. Always a favorite in my collection. I went to the movies to see this too also. And I also have this on Blu-ray. All right, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Red Riding Hood. Robin Hood. Scorpion King. Fantastic Four. The Day After Tomorrow. Charlie's Angels. Elektra. which featured Jennifer Gardner, John Cena as the Marine, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Sean Connery, Jack the Giant Slayer, and my 2 Harry Potters. So all those are pretty much ready to go on this particular show. Just trying to get everything all put in and get this media all straightened out, and I have everything all dolled up and put in order where they belong on a corresponding shelf. So guys, so here's some of the VHS that I'm going to be putting away too, also in the filer. So we got the first one, we got Animal House. It's one of my favorites too also. And also, I have this on Blu-ray too, DVD too also, Starship Troopers. I also have this on. Now I have the VHS copy of it. Had it for a while, just going over some of my VHS collection for the sci-fi fantasy part of this whole thing. Part 1 of my binge watch collection. Also, we have The Exterminator, which is one of my favorites. Beautifully done. Excellent film. So this is my VHS watch list, binge watch. And I also have Stargate. So we all grew up watching this. Kurt Russell, he was a monster. And James Spader. Also Virus, Jamie Lee Curtis, another one of my favorites too also. So you got William Baldwin and Donald Sutherland. It's another one of my favorites. Also we have The Abyss, another one of my favorites too also. And we have The Mummy. I also have The Mummy Returns too also. That's downstairs in the other vault. So then we have Double Team. John Van Damme and Dennis Rodman. Another kick-ass package. We also have Red Planet, Val Kilmer, Curry Johnson, Jane, and Tom Busmore. This was excellent. Val Kilmer did a good job on this one. He was like ultimate. And Amy went rogue and everything turned to hell. It was pretty much badass. And then also have that hooked up with Angela Bassett, Supernova. So it's like the ultimate wheel when it comes to those two. And then also have more too also. The Untouchables, one of my favorites. And I also have Scarface, Al Pacino's collection. I had this for a long time. This is like my ultimate collection. Yep, so everything is pretty much there. And I'm getting everything all put in for the new shelf. Alright guys, so this is going to do it for my Sci-Fi Adventure series, part 1. Thank y'all guys for checking me out. As always, click that like button. And feel free to leave me a comment, and let's talk about some movies. Let's talk about some movie that you like and that you're binge watching, or if you're putting up your shelf, what are you adding to your shelves and all that kind of good stuff. And I want to thank everybody for giving me good likes and liking what I do and supporting my media collection as it's growing. And there's more shelves coming too also. And I'll try to do more unboxing as things comes in, because we're celebrating Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up. And we'll be approaching Christmas, which is where we get everything all dolled up under the tree. So I'll be doing a ultimate Christmas special too also with Billy. Is coming home this year. If y'all guys don't know who Billy is, Solemn Night, Deadly Night. I'll be doing a massive tribute to the Grindhouse for the Christmas holiday. But for right now, we got the Sci-Fi Adventure Part 1 of my binge watch collection, and my new shelves already put up. And I just want to thank everybody for liking what I do. And as always, guys, I'll see y'all guys on the next wheel as I get everything all put in on my particular new shelf. And we add more titles as they come in. So thank y'all guys for checking me out. And as always, click that like button and subscribe. And as always, keep collecting. See you next time, guys. Right here on Popcorn and Gore Gothic Grindhouse.